Well, joining us now here in the studios is the Executive Director of the Healthy Living Alliance, Bongile Nkosi. Ms. Nkosi, good morning and thank you very much. Yesterday you had a picket outside Coca Cola offices in Johannesburg here. How did that go, and did you achieve whatever the purpose you set out to do yesterday?
Good morning, and good morning to the listeners. Basically, I mean, our point was that it's National Obesity Week in South Africa, and it's one of the issues that is not often, reflected or even talked about. Meanwhile, 14% of our children are actually obese. So one of the things we actually wanted to do was actually go to Coca Cola and say, you made a commitment both in 2009 and 2012, and nobody has ever held you accountable. And I think yesterday, for the first time, if you look at it, even Coke was actually surprised that there would be an organization that would come to them. So yesterday, basically, we from our side, we think we've achieved something, because for the first time, nobody has actually ever went to Coca Cola.
Can you just remind us very briefly, what was the commitment that Coke made?
So basically, in 2009, the junk food industry and the beverage industry, through the Consumer Goods Council in South Africa, they actually made a commitment that they would not advertise or market their products directly to children. And this is based on a commitment and recommendations made by the WHO that advertising and marketing to children, is not right because of the growing obesity we're seeing in the world. So basically, then in 2012, they went to an EU and they made the same pledge, but what we're seeing is not. And then in March this year, what we did as HEALA, we actually did an audit, and we found that actually we're still finding Coca-Cola boards in schools, and also there's still some form of advertising, and also they're spending 500 million directly advertising to children.
Can I ask why just Coca-Cola now for this protest? Surely there are other beverage companies also that fall under the same. So basically, based on our previous campaign, we advocated for the sugary drinks tax in 2016, and the reason why we went to Coca-Cola is because Coca-Cola has the largest market share in South Africa, actually in Africa, when it comes to beverage industries, and we thought they actually are the lead in the beverage industry. So you actually start there, then the others would actually follow.
Is it Coca-Cola as in red and white beverage? Because Coca-Cola also has got other brands under its business.
Yeah, so basically, Coca-Cola is a brand, the red and white, and we actually targeted, the Fanta brand, what you're seeing now is they're targeting actually young kids, is a Coca-Cola brand. So you directly go to Coca-Cola, so yeah.
Will you take your protest in line with what my partner just asked to other sugary drink distributors and producers as you carry on your campaign to stop advertising to children?
So basically our next step is to actually ask government now, because we believe that, the only form of way is. But yesterday, I think what we were trying to show is that involuntary regulation doesn't work. When you allow business to be the one that regulates yourself, it doesn't work. Because we were showing Coca-Cola, because one of the things what we want to do is actually ask government to regulate, make sure that we protect its children. And the first point yesterday also was to show to Coke that involuntary regulation doesn't work. When you say you'll do it, you're not doing it.
So, like we say, there have been some efforts for them to cut down on the amount of sugar in their products as well. Does that not make a difference to you? Because is it that mostly the sugary stuff is getting to kids anyway?
So remember, as much as they are cutting down the sugary drinks, it was because of a regulation. It was because of a tax. And what we're seeing is that even if they cut, when it comes to children, 10 teaspoons of sugar in a cold drink, it still has a huge impact on their health. So what we're saying is that they should not be marketing directly to children, because children have a huge influence in what the parents are buying.
So you don't buy into self-regulation. You want government to have stricter control.
Yes, and that's why we actually asked for a tax, because the tax is a way of regulation. And what we want to do now is actually go to government and say, these are the commitments made by Coca-Cola. We went to Coca-Cola, and it doesn't look like it. And one of the things we want to do after this, they made a statement yesterday, and they said they've cut down on 50%. We actually want to partner with organizations that can check that, because we don't believe they actually have cut back.
Okay, thank you.